Kamut and Kamut once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with whole grain of the day, the one and only Kamut. So, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've never heard of it, maybe you don't even know it actually exists. Well, whatever the case may be, please hold on, please listen on. Why? Because we're about to dive into the wonderful world of Kamut. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. Kamut, and it's pronounced Kamut, is a trademark name given to Khorasan wheat. All right, so let me pronounce that once again. Kamut is a trademark name given to Khorasan wheat. So the term Kamut is more of a trademark, and the actual name of the wheat is Khorasan wheat. Interesting. It's thought to be a cousin of durum wheat. Also, it's an excellent crop for organic farming because it produces high quality wheat without the need for artificial fertilizers and or pesticides. So basically what that means is that Kamut is a type of wheat that is, believe it or not, good for planet Earth. It's good for our environment. So it probably wouldn't be such a bad idea to start incorporating more Kamut into your diet, especially if you're the type of person who loves to eat whole grains. All right, now time for a few fun facts. Number one, Kamut does contain gluten, and I'll repeat that once again. Kamut does contain gluten. It is known to have less gluten than whole wheat products and to be more easily digested. But if you have a severe gluten intolerance, such as celiac disease, you will want to avoid consuming Kamut. So there you have it, guys. If you suffer from any type of gluten intolerance or celiac disease, then it probably is in your best interest to not consume it. But once again, it is very nutritious. So if your body can tolerate gluten, then Coach D highly recommends that you go ahead and consume more of it. All right. Now, before we dive into the health benefits and the nutrition facts, Coach D wants to talk with you a little bit about the 5-20 rule, right? So here's what we need to understand about the 5-20 rule, is that ultimately it's all about food labels. That's right, guys. The 5-20 rule is basically a guide to help you understand and read food labels. Ultimately, it lets you know whether or not a food item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. That's all you basically need to know. Now, if you take a look at the picture, the diagram that I provided, notice that we really want to pay special attention to the percent daily value. Now, taking a look at the picture, it's highlighted in what you could consider maybe a dark pink, maybe a light purple, right? So percent daily value is really where it's at. So notice that percent daily value is always given as a percentage. So if the food item offers anywhere from 0 to 9% of any particular nutrient, then it is not a good source of that nutrient. If it offers 10% to 19% DV, then it is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. And lastly, if the food item offers 20% or greater, then the food item is considered to be an excellent source of that particular nutrient. Now, there are some nutrients that we want to get less of, and there are some nutrients that we want to get more of. So let's take a look at the food label, shall we? Notice that total fat, cholesterol, and sodium are all highlighted in yellow. Now, the purpose of them being highlighted in yellow is to let us know that those are the nutrients that we definitely want to consume less of. So whenever you're reading a food label, you always want to look at those three items to see whether or not the food item is offering not a good source, or an excellent source. Now, to be honest with you, when it comes to total fat, when it comes to cholesterol and sodium, those are the three nutrients that we do not want our food item to be a good source of. However, if we look at other nutrients such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, those are the nutrients that we do want either a good source or an excellent source of. So basically, that's the 520 rule. It's a guide to let you know whether or not a food item is a good source, not a good source, or an excellent source of any particular nutrient. All right, so now that we are fully aware of the 520 rule, let's now dive into the nutrition facts of Kamut. So today we're going to say that a single serving is 1 cup of cooked kamut. And so this single serving, 1 cup, is going to provide the body with the following: 251 calories, 2 grams of fat, 10 milligrams of sodium, 52 grams of carbs, 7 grams of fiber. Amazing. And look at this, a whopping 11 grams of protein. So if you're vegan or if you're a vegetarian and you're looking for an amazing source of plant-based protein, I highly recommend Kamut. Now, let's talk about the vitamin and mineral content. So first up is niacin, coming in at 24% DV, so that means it is an excellent source of niacin. Thiamine, 14%. That comes in between 10 and 19, so it is a good source of thiamine. Vitamin B6 comes in at 7%, not a good source. Folate, 5%, not a good source. Riboflavin, 3%, not a good source. But look at manganese, over 100%, exactly 104%, so it is an excellent source of manganese. Then we have phosphorus coming in at 30%. Excellent source. We have magnesium at 24% DV. Excellent source. Copper, 21%. Excellent source. Zinc, 20%. Excellent source. Iron, 19%. So it is a good source. And lastly, we have calcium coming in at only 2%. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, based on the nutrition facts alone, Kamut is a super grain. All right. Now it's time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do that, Coach D very quickly wants to talk with you about one of the 7 laws, or we can use the word principles, of the natural universe. Now, some people may term these the 7 hermetic principles. The one that directly applies to what we're discussing today is the principle of cause and effect, which basically says that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. So, if you are overweight, if you have heart disease, if you have diabetes, and maybe even if you have cancer, according to the principle of cause and effect, the disease is actually the effect, and the cause, more than likely, is your diet. Okay? Sorry to be so blunt. Now, if you are healthy, well, the health is the effect, and the cause, once again, is probably your diet. So in other words, what I'm trying to say here is that if you end up diseased, chances are you cause it by putting more unnatural, or shall we say, processed foods and animal products in your diet, meaning in your body. And if you're healthy, well, you cause that too by simply putting in all of the nutrients that plants have to offer. So if you want to be healthy, you gotta cause it, right? One of the best ways to do that is to simply eat more plants, right? So now that we understand that, let's dive into the health benefits of Kamut. Number 1, supports bone health. Number 2, aids the digestive system. Number 3, detoxifies the body. Number 4, it's a high source of protein. So once again, if you're a vegan or if you're a vegetarian, or maybe you're considering transitioning to a more whole food plant-based diet and you're wondering where in the world can I get more protein from, it's easy. Just eat more kamut. Next up, it fights the common cold, it supports brain health, it balances your hormones, and it also lowers cholesterol. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Quite a few health benefits from the one and only Kamut. All right, now it's time to talk about food. That's right, guys. Coach D loves food. Now, normally our go-to website is forksoverknives.com, but for today's purposes, we're going to switch it up just a little bit. And I want to introduce you to vegetariantimes.com. Right, so I did my research, went to the website, and found two amazing vegan kamut recipes that I would like to share with you right now. The first one is kamut and wild rice salad, and the second vegan recipe is kamut spaghetti with fennel and beans. Take a look at the pictures. Makes your mouth water, doesn't it? Amazing. So here's the really cool part, is that if you are interested in actually learning more about these particular dishes, then all you have to do is go to the description box. That's right, I'm providing you with a direct link to both of these recipes. So just go ahead, open up the description box, click on the link, read the information, and why not make the dish? And after you taste it, let me know, right? So enjoy your vegan kamut dishes. All right, now 23% nation, I hear you. A lot of you are saying, all right, Coach D, I really enjoyed the fun facts. I like the background information. I even enjoyed the nutrition facts. But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more kamut? Well, guys, the perfect day, and I gotta tell you, the perfect day is Nature Day. That's right, Nature Day. Now, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, what in the world is the challenge all about? Well, it's a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and by the way, it also helps to save planet Earth. Now, here's the interesting part about the 23% challenge. It's that it's the first 7 days of every single month. That's right, guys, the first all the way through the 7th. Now, here's the interesting thing, is that Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, which basically means Nature Day is the first day of every single month. So whether it's March 1st, April 1st, or even December 1st, it's always Nature Day. Now that you've probably have a empty stomach, you're craving vegan food, you want to learn more about Nature Day? Well, guys, Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature. That's right. Now, yes, there are thousands of ways in which you can get closer to nature. You can go to a petting zoo. You can go adopt a cat, a dog, or some type of stray animal. But for the purpose of this video, Coach D wants to propose that we become closer to nature by simply eating it. That's right, guys. Let's begin to eat more plants. It's very simple. Now, I do understand that a lot of people do want to be healthy. A lot of people do want to transition to a more plant-based diet. Well, if that's you, then Coach D wants to help encourage that choice by offering you 3 different avenues. The first one is to try to become a 3% vegan. Now, what that basically means is that you pick one day out of an entire month to eat only plant foods and to drink only water. Now, the second type is a 13% vegan. A 13% vegan is anyone who chooses to only eat plant foods and drink only water 4 days out of an entire month. And lastly, we have a 23% vegan, which is what Coach D is. Now, the 23% vegan is the person who eats only plant foods and drinks only water 7 days out of an entire month. Now, for the sake of the 23% challenge, Coach D wants to recommend that you become a 23% vegan the first 7 days of every single month. Now, some of you may be wondering, all right, Coach D, I get it, but I kind of don't understand. You say plant foods. What do you mean by plant foods? Well, guys, it's very simple. You only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods. So we're talking about fruits, we're talking about vegetables and herbs, we're talking about nuts and seeds, we're talking about whole grains, and we're talking about legumes, meaning beans and peas. So there you have it. For those of us who are considering transitioning, always think about 3%, 13%, or 23%. All right, now that I've piqued your interest, Coach D wants to offer a few tips for Nature Day. Why? Because I want you to have a successful, smooth, and easy-going Nature Day. So here are a few tips. Number 1, go to your local grocery store and only hang out in the produce section. Why? Well, because that's where you're going to find your plant foods. Number 2, go visit a farmer's market. Now, believe it or not, there are lots of advantages to shopping at a farmer's market versus a grocery store. For instance, less pesticides, less herbicides, also less travel time. Why? Because the food is coming from a local farm as opposed to a farm that's located in a different city, a different state, or even a different country. Thirdly, while you're in your grocery store, go check out the prepared dishes section. Now, some grocery stores may term it the kitchen, but here's what you got to do. Walk on over there, talk to the person who works behind the counter, and ask them if they have any vegan or vegetarian options. Providing they say yes, ask for a quick sample. If you enjoy the sample, then simply order the food by the pound or maybe even 2 pounds. And lastly, go visit a vegan restaurant, right? The reason why you want to visit a vegan restaurant is because they employ vegan chefs who know exactly how to cook plant foods, they know which plant foods to combine, and they also know how to season plant foods just so that they are the most delicious things you've probably ever tasted. Now, as far as vegan restaurants are concerned, if you don't know where one currently is, all you have to do is a quick Google search, right? Just type in vegan restaurants near me, and within less than half of a second, Google will give you all the results. So there you have it, guys. 4 tips on how to have a successful Nature Day. All right, it's time for our question of the day, which comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We want to know, which Kamut recipe do you prefer? Was it the first one or the second one, or maybe, just maybe, you know of an amazing vegan Kamut recipe that you would like to share with us? So, whether you want to take one of mine or share one of yours, please write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I gotta ask you to please subscribe and like the video, especially if you love Kamut. Also, let's not forget our 3-word mantra. Hashtag eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.